Ah. What I said, this how much on your arm? When I'm going to get balance, it's where is your friend? And why was he asking me about the past? Bueno. ¿Vale? Quindi si nel capo. Però non sento del mercato. Pero non è. Andai a come domanda la vera percaccia. Quindi andai guardando. Io andai a for Hey, morning. Okay, right. Berarti wajib. Last time we talked about the introduction. The introduction forms a very great foundation for the whole story. That's why it's imperative that we spend a couple minutes quickly divide to talk about the introduction. We looked at some of the important features in the introduction, which I'm not going to repeat myself this morning, but I'll just add one or two things when it comes to choosing the right words for your introduction. For choosing the right words, we're trying to achieve an objective of being brave. We're trying to be short. We're trying to be brief, but at the same time hitting the nail on its head. So that's why when it comes to an introduction, it is necessary that you choose the words that are short. Don't be too wordy. Don't be too wordy. When we're talking about being too wordy, we're talking of beating around the bush. The very same thing that can be said in 3 words, you're saying it in a lot of words, 10 words, and so on and so forth. So you're trying as much as possible not to be too wordy. Don't over-explain something. There are some people when writing, they want to explain so much. I think it was also evident in the essays, the exams that some of you were writing. There's so much information. When writing, we're obviously looking for just 1 point or 2 points that's there in your paragraph. That's going around and around and around, it doesn't make sense. So even in news writing, it's the very same type of thing. You don't want to be going around the bush and so on and so forth. You hit the nail on its head. So when it comes to choosing the right words, that's also very important. But also try to get more verbs in your piece of writing. Verbs are doing words. So when you are saying you're putting in a lot of verbs, it's technically meaning that there's a lot of issues that are happening. That's why you're going to use a lot of words. Somebody has done something. That's where verbs do come in. So the more the verbs, the more action that is happening in your news writing. So when it comes to choosing the right words, number 1, you want to make sure that you're not being too wordy, you're not beating around the bush. Number 2, you're not trying to over-explain something, it becomes boring. Number 3, you're trying to put in as many verbs as possible, or sticking to the action that is happening in your paper, in your news writing. So that's what it is when it comes to choosing the right word. Apart from choosing the right word, there is also the language use of news. In other words, the language of news. When we're looking at the language of news, we're looking at how best can you craft your language, how best can you come up with sentences that can easily explain your story, that can easily be appealing to the people. So number 1, you use the shortest form of the verbs. Shortest form of the verbs. For example, Blessing has been thinking of giving the students another assignment. Blessing has been thinking of giving the students assignment. Instead of this, the shortest verb could be listening to, thinking of, giving students another assignment. So those are the conversational nature of writing for news, more especially in broadcasting, that you would love to be putting in. So even in your writing, if you go back to some of the things that you wrote in the past and you look at them, you realize it can be shortened to about 3/4 because of the extra words or extra verbs that you put in that piece of writing. So when we're looking at shortening the verbs, these are the things that we're talking about. Instead of adding a lot of words in the piece, you realize you're creating a batch of issues that are redundant in nature. So you're trying to trim it as much as possible. Why do you want to trim it? If you're writing for print, obviously you're scrambling for space. So that will give you a small chunk where you have to put a lot of stuff, but that's what's making sense. Not only that, if you are writing for television or radio that's broadcasting news, you realize that you're crumbling for time, air time. And for that reason, you would love as much as possible to come up with a shortened version of your piece of writing. Apart from that, avoid unnecessary extra verbs. It's pretty much the same as what I've just said. A lot of people love to go around and talk about the very same things. So it's very, very important that you use the shortest form of verb. Using the shortest form of verb, one sentence could read, Charity has promised to look into the matter. Charity has promised to look into the matter. The same thing could read, Charity promised to look into the matter. It's the same thing giving the same meaning. But on one hand, it has been repeated in a couple of times. So avoid unnecessary extra verbs, but at the same time use the shortest form of verbs possible. John has made plans to travel to India. John has made plans to travel to India. What could this be? John has made plans to travel to India.
John is planning to travel to India.
John is planning to travel to India. What do you think?
John made plans to travel to India.
Sorry, something?
John made plans to travel to India.
John made plans to travel to India. For example, also made, all those we can do without them. It's the very same sentence. But your same made. Let's see if it can connect.
John plans to go to India.
John plans to travel to India. So these are the issues. It's a very common issue when it comes to writing. We really love to put all these, but we realize it just makes the whole story rather longer. Apart from that, you watch out for words which don't mean anything. Watch out for words that don't mean anything. For example, John is currently studying piano at University of Belgium. John is currently studying piano at University of Belgium. Currently, actually, etc. All those are just what we call mannerisms. So the other one was always a quick research. But in actual sense, you realize they are useless in the whole thing. So instead of John is actually studying piano, if rather John is currently studying piano, you can just say John is studying piano. Currently, you realize you also are saying if, it means something is happening now. You don't have to put currently in it because it's already making sense. Watch out for generic words that make things shorter. Watch out for generic words that make things shorter. For example, consultants, house doctors, and nurses at by a hospital are on strike. Consultants, house doctors, and nurses at by a hospital are on strike. I want you to pay attention to consultants, house doctors, and nurses at by the hospital. What could be one word for all this? Sorry?
Workers or employees.
Workers or employees? Okay. Workers or employees. What do you think? What could be one word for doctors, nurses, nursing attendants, and one word or two words that would best describe these people? Workers is general, but I'm specific in terms of which part I should understand. So instead of saying consultants, house doctors, medical attendants, yeah, but the only problem with medical attendants is it's another field. Or medical staff, isn't it? An example of medical staff. Instead of putting all these, we would say medical staff and so they are on strike. Air hostesses and stewards, what would be a common term? Have you ever flown before? Okay. This should be easy for you. What do we
Flight attendants.
Flight attendants or cabin crew? Or cabin crew. Alright, so all these are the terms that you try to play around with when you are writing. So watch out for generic words that make things shorter. If you find them, use them. They will make your story even more interesting. English is diverse. There's an English that is spoken in Britain. There's English that is spoken in America. We have our English in Malawi. All these are characterized by how we play around with words. How we align words that make up sentences and so on and so forth. For example, some people say building as the act of building. Some people say construction. Some people say begin. Some people say commence. Some people say help. Some people say assist. And when you're looking at issues like construction, commence, assistance, all these often fall into Latinate kind of English. But the other one that we usually use is what we call Anglo-Saxon words. So when it comes to news writing, what is more preferred is the Anglo-Saxon rather than the Latinate. So I'm trying to introduce another point to say choose Anglo-Saxon words rather than Latinate one. Choose the Anglo-Saxon word rather than better than comment. The help is better than assist or assistance. Another point, use verbs instead of abstract nouns. Use verbs instead of abstract nouns. Abstract nouns often refer to an action, but make it static by using the name of the action. For example, the committee reached a decision should be the committee decided. The committee reached a decision should be the committee decided. Similarly, women with aspirations to reach the top marathon should be women who want to reach the top marathon. All these verbs that you use instead of abstract nouns. Apart from that, tell us about the people doing the thing, not the abstract noun. In the news writing, in your piece, what you are actually doing is you are telling a story. And when you are telling a story, you are actually saying, what would you do this? That's what is admirable. You're saying, tell us about people doing things, not abstract nouns. Tell us about people doing things, not abstract nouns. For example, public transport usage is expected to increase significantly due to blah 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 blah. This would simply be more people will go on buses. We are starting a story. More people are likely going to go on buses, or more people will go on buses because of whatever that's going to happen. But you are trying to tell the same story. What's different is the skill that you are using to tell the story. Someone has used another angle by saying public transport usage is expected to increase significantly because of whatever is happening, whether it's valuation or the hike in fuel prices. But someone will also use the same angle by saying more people will go on buses. So the second one is telling us about what people are doing. The other one is telling us about a situation. So when it comes to news writing, we are more concerned with telling us what people are doing rather than just the situation the way it is. So that's also an element that is very vital to consider, very important to include when it comes to news writing. Apart from that, you are supposed to be aware of technical jargon, technical words. You are supposed to be aware of jargon, in short. Beware of jargon. What are jargons? What are jargons? Jargons. Jargons. Use your phone and find me in jargons.
Any talk writer that no, that one does not understand.
A what?
What this one is
How is it?
a confused and intelligent language.
A confusing
And intelligent language.
and intelligent language.
Something like a writing or a talk one does not understand.
Okay. What have you found there? One very good.
For example, that is used or engaged in a specific professional activity.
That's what I was looking for. Actually, that's the meaning of a jargon, not that you have. Okay? The real meaning of a jargon is language used in a specific field. So because it is being used in a specific field, the way you are not in that field, it's hard for you to understand. That's where the first meaning that you gave me is coming. But the real meaning is language used in a specific field. We are talking about fields, for example, where?
Sorry?
Which kind of fields are we talking about? For example, Komaguri Malango to
Lawyer.
lawyers, health,
So,
etc. For a journalist, a news writing personnel, it is vital that you learn those jargons. It's very important that you learn those jargons. Very, very important that you learn those jargons. For example, nursing, not in nursing, in medical field, there are issues like laparotomy. Laparotomy is actually any procedure that is done on the stomach. That's what laparotomy is. So when you're looking at laparotomy, okay, we're going to conduct laparotomy. All the procedures on the stomach, operations on the stomach are called laparotomy. So basically, anyone know what the child is? No? Anyway, so basically, I think Mama is Katata. 3 times. I think it's here, and here. Apart of stomach, the heart, and so on. So when you are using cesarean, you're encouraged you should do 2. So that there should be one more space for laparotomy. If you do one more space for laparotomy, should be there. So that has to procedure in now one operating me that can do my own number. So that's why I can tell you, don't where you got those cesarean, it should just be 2. Or you're encouraged not to use cesarean so that but carry chance your mom will have dinner disease. It could be another operation, operation to mean, and so on and so forth. Because the number they go to that time, the teenage to mean or something, they will say, otherwise, the government will say, whatever the government becomes okay, now that's useless. But what I'm looking at is jargon. So beware of jargon. For example, police. For example, in health, in courts, in councils, and so on and so forth. We're not saying you should beware of them, not necessarily because I'm not inviting you to see, so after the president conducted laparotomy and that, no, you're not writing that. But in case you're in the course, you should be able to know that must have done his part, so that the way of a member should be able to explain to the people. The whole essence of whatever you're doing is to communicate to the people. If people are not able to get what you're saying, you're not communicating. So you will not have the feedback. It's going to be hard. But if you are aware of these things, you are able to communicate to the people. The one must lead us in the general, this means this. A person has been incarcerated, it means this. And many mothers mean defilement, it means this. All those kind of things is important that you pay attention to. Another point is give us answers, not questions. give us the answers and not the questions. So in here you take care not to be repetitive by telling us the question as well as the answer. So avoid constructions such as this. Ask whether you protest to the council. Julian Porter said blah blah blah. Remember what Julian Porter said blah blah blah. You are also saying Namutum Sat. This is a very common error in news that our Panobama has made. Titamutum Sawa Kuro, Iye and Alcohol. Titamutum Sata and play for those who are Iye, which is not adorable, just hit the nail on its head. What would you say? I'll have your put in church. And not necessarily you repeating whatever happened. Apart from that, you use concise, at the same time everyday words and phrases. Use concise, everyday words and phrases. When it's you and your paper and you're trying to write something, you want to become as creative as possible. And because you want to become as creative as possible, you alienate your writing to what the people get. You start writing the English that you feel like would make you a better writer instead of writing the English that would make people understand whatever you are writing. That's why I was saying use concise, but also everyday words and phrases. For example, don't use acquire, use get. Don't use in addition to, use as well as. Don't use additional funding, use more money. Don't use admitted to, use admitted. Don't use in advance of, use before. Don't use ahead of, use before. For air hostesses and stewards, I already said cabin crew. Approximately, use about, and so on and so forth. I'll give you this piece of writing so that you can have a better understanding of what I'm talking about. There are a lot of words, there are hundreds and hundreds of them. You can always check them out. Is there any question before I give you a few things? Is there any question? Any addition or subtraction? Alright, so I would love you to write this small paragraph of probably not more than 5 sentences. Just a small paragraph on who has heard of the police guy who was shot, the MG2? Yes, I did that.
I read it.
You read it? Okay. Can you briefly just tell us so that we should have the same version?
Okay, yeah, I read it. It was like, I want to explain it this way. The guys, I forgot the name anyway. So they were together the previous night at the vehicle. They were drinking that night. So the MG2 decided to go with another guy, and he was kind of furious. So, and then the following day, before that, he went to the office to borrow a gun so that he can use it for something else. Then he went to the MG2's house. When he goes there, then they had some misunderstanding. Then he shot the lady, the MG2 on the chest twice. Then shot himself.
And this story happened Sunday?
Yeah. Not yesterday.
No.
In the morning. I think it was yesterday in the morning.
Yesterday in the morning. Oh.
But they were together the previous night.
Okay. The shooting happened yesterday. Okay, alright.
Yes.
So we have the same version. I want you guys to write that one. I don't you to write that one. Not about five sentences, one paragraph. You're writing an introduction to the news. And I want you to write exactly that using the skills that
When did it happen?
Look at the money man. Look at the somewhere.
No, never.
Oh, like where? Data.
Later.
Look at it. Just write that. And what's happening in Punjab? You put something. What's happening with it?
Hey, those are losing the cars or what?
Yes, I think they're the ones that are also cutting something.
They're fundraising.
Go on.
I they want to donate and bring to work. So they're watching the electric cars.
And that's not they just write letters to the next guy asking for finance. If they want me to buy something, I'll buy one. If they want me to donate, I'll donate more.
Should we have our heading or just an introduction?
It should have the heading.
Okay.
5 minutes then.
Almost.
Tapi nggak di masamu. Ah. So you give your work to her, you get her work. You give your work to her.
The way you work, she won't understand.
She will understand. I don't know how, but find a way for her to understand. So that she can swap. And after she swap, what you are going to do is you are going to mark her. After marking, you will be underlining where you feel like there's a problem, but at the same time saying whatever the problem is. And after marking, you're going to read the word loud and tell us exactly the issue that you're from. You mark it out of test. One. But I say my glass, you know, my car will be dinner. Sorry? My glass, my car will be dinner. or usiku ama mchana.
We're allergic to light.
Hey, naga ngomona, naga